If you feel you need to expand your money vocabulary so that you can engage in more natural conversations related to money, this lesson is jam-packed with verbs, phrasal verbs, adjectives, and idiomatic expressions that not only will take your English vocabulary to the next level, but will also help you feel more confident when discussing money matters. Let's jump right in. So we'll go over a conversation and we'll analyze each verb, phrasal verb, noun, adjective, or idiom in context. That way, it'll be much more meaningful for you and it will help you stick this vocabulary not only to your short-term memory but long-term memory, and most importantly, I want to help you use this vocabulary in your everyday conversations. So let's start. Hey Jake, long time no see. What have you been up to? Hi Emma, I've been all right. Just trying to get by, you know? Living paycheck to paycheck isn't fun. So the first one is a phrasal verb, get by. So get by means that you are able to survive, especially financially. If you get by, it means that you are able to survive, especially with little resources. And living paycheck to paycheck, it means that you live with enough money until your next salary. So you get your paycheck, you are able to get by until your next paycheck. But of course, living paycheck to paycheck isn't fun. So let's read it again so that you can practice speaking. Make sure you can pause the video and say it out loud after me. Hi Emma, I've been all right, just trying to get by. Living paycheck to paycheck isn't fun. Oh, I feel you. After my trip to Europe, I'm flat broke. That vacation really cost an arm and a leg. So, if you are flat broke, it means that you have no money at all. Flat broke. And if something costs an arm and a leg, it just means that it is very expensive. This one is an idiomatic expression. I can imagine traveling these days is so pricey. This one's an adjective and it just means very expensive. Pricey, very expensive. Did you splash out on anything? What's this expression? It's a phrasal verb. And if you splash out money on something, it means that you spend money usually on something luxurious or for enjoyment, but not something that was strictly necessary. You splash out money. Shall we read it again for speaking practice? I feel you. After my trip to Europe, I'm flat broke. That vacation really cost an arm and a leg. I can imagine traveling these days is so pricey. Did you splash out on anything? Yeah, I definitely spent way too much money on a designer bag, totally unnecessary. I think I threw money down the drain. So, if you throw money down the drain, it means that you spend money on something that is not important or on something that is not necessary. You see, sometimes even useless, for example. So you throw money down the drain. Well, we all do it sometimes. I try to be frugal, maybe even a bit thrifty, but not stingy. Here we have 3 adjectives that you can use to talk about money. So if you are frugal, it means that you are mindful about money. So you avoid spending money on unnecessary things. You're careful about spending money. Thrifty is being like money wise. You are smart about spending money. So maybe you plan out your income and your expenses so that you know how much money you can spend. But stingy is a person that is not willing to spend money at all. For example, you are at a restaurant and then you have already paid the bill and then you say, come on, don't be stingy. Tip the waiter. So this is stingy. It's kind of a negative adjective because it's even related to a miserly person. Let's go for the speaking practice. Yeah, I definitely spent way too much money on a designer bag, totally unnecessary. I think I threw money down the drain. Oh, well, we all do it sometimes. I try to be frugal, maybe even a bit thrifty, but definitely not stingy. 3 super useful adjectives there. That's smart. I'm learning to save for a rainy day now. I started squirreling away money in a separate savings account. So, if you save money for a rainy day, it means that you are put aside, there you have a phrasal verb. You're putting aside some money for unexpected events or emergencies to save for a rainy day. And squirrel away money is a phrasal verb that means that you are hiding money separately, gradually in a savings account. Can you imagine what squirrels do with their acorns when they are preparing for winter? They are hiding their acorns. So if you squirrel away money, it means that you are saving money gradually. Nice. I'm trying to do that too. I've also been using a budget app to track my expenses and income. So here we have simple nouns, but as this lesson is for lower intermediate or intermediate English learners, I wanted to include them as well. So a budget is a spending plan. You have your income, your expenses, and then you get your budget. So how much can you spend according to your income? So as I was saying, your expenses are everything you spend money on, and your income is your earnings. So your salary, your paycheck, that's your income. Yeah. Let's go for the speaking practice with this part. That's smart. I'm learning to save for a rainy day now. I started squirreling away money in a separate savings account. Nice, I'm trying to do that too. I've also been using a budget app to track my expenses and my income. Excuse me. Good idea. I really need to cut back on eating out. I frittered away so much money on takeout. So, if you need to cut back on something, it means that you need to reduce something that you do. So, I need to cut back on eating out. I need to reduce how many times I go out to eat. And fritter away money. Can you imagine deep frying your money? That's wasting your money, right? So if you fritter away money, it means that you waste money on small, unimportant, or unnecessary things. Can you see how many different ways we are learning to say waste money? We have idioms, we have phrasal verbs that can mean to waste money. So in that way, you expand your vocabulary, and of course, you sound way more fluent and natural. Same here. I used to waste money like crazy. Now I only spend on things I can actually afford. So again, very simple for lower intermediate learners here. To waste money is spend money on completely unnecessary things. And if you can afford something, it means that you can pay, you're able to pay for something because you have the money to do so. And if you can't afford something, you can't pay for something. For example, right now I can't afford to buy a new laptop computer because I don't have enough savings, let's say. Speaking practice for this part. Good idea. I really need to cut back on eating out. I freed away so much money on takeout. Same here. I used to waste money like crazy. Now I only spend on things I can actually afford. By the way, did you pay off your student loan? Another phrasal verb here. So if you pay off a loan, if you pay off a loan, it means that you pay back money that you owe. In this situation, to a bank or a financial institution. You see, a loan is money that a bank lends you because you need to use it for something. Yeah. So pay off, to finish paying something, for example, a loan. Almost. I still owe about $2,000, but I'm hoping to pay it off by the end of the year. So if you owe money, it's because you have a debt. Be careful with this word. It's not debt, it's debt. There's a silent B there. So if you owe money to a bank, you still have a debt that you need to pay off. Okay? Speaking practice. By the way, did you pay off your student loan? Almost. I still owe about $2,000, but I'm hoping to pay it off by the end of the year. Then, that's great. Don't tell me you've come into money or something. So come into is a phrasal verb that can be used in several contexts, but as we are talking about money here, if you come into money, it means that you receive money unexpectedly. For example, you win the lottery, so you've come into money. Or you receive money from inheritance, then you come into money. You can also come into money in the street, but of course that money is not yours. You should go to a police station and inform it, you see? So come into money, it means to receive money unexpectedly. Now, I just started working freelance gigs on the side. I'm kind of banking on getting a big project next month. So if you bank on something, it's because you depend on something happening, especially something financially. You see, so I'm kind of banking on getting a big project if I want to pay off my loan, for example. Yeah, speaking practice for this part. That's great. Don't tell me you've come into money or something. No, I just started working freelance gigs on the side. I'm kind of banking on getting a big project next month. I need some tea. Fingers crossed. I actually took out a loan last year to start my business. So, if you took out a loan, is because you borrowed money from a bank. Yeah, so you take out a loan from a bank. The bank lends you money. You borrow money from a bank. Oh, really? What kind of business? Then, online tutoring. Look at this one, it's a very nice one. I bring home the bacon now by teaching English. Not bad, huh? So this is an idiom. If you bring home the bacon, it means that you bring enough money to support your family financially or even yourself. And since I'm not bringing home the bacon with this teaching English business yet, I know that you are super kind, and if you're able to support the channel so that I keep going with these lessons, I will be very grateful if you could buy me a coffee. I'll link the description. I'll leave the link in the description and a QR code somewhere here. I'll very much appreciate it. So if you bring home the bacon, remember, it's because you are able to support your family financially. I'm not bringing home the bacon yet. That is so sad. Well, that's awesome. If you ever need help with marketing, let me know. Just don't expect me to work for free. I'm not rolling in dough. Another idiomatic expression here. So first, though is a slang word or very informal for money. So if you say that you are rolling in dough, if you say it affirmative, it's because you're rich, you have lots of money. I'm not rolling in dough, so I don't have lots of money and I'm not rich. You see, I'm not rolling in dough. I'm not rich at all, actually. Speaking practice with this part. Online tutoring. I bring home the bacon now by teaching English. Not bad, That's awesome. If you ever need help with marketing, let me know. Just don't expect me to work for free. I'm not rolling in dough. Next. Fair enough. Oh, speaking of money, you still owe me from that concert last month. Look at this connector. Speaking of. It is a connector that is used to link two ideas that are related. By the way, if you want to learn more about connectors that can help you have more fluent conversations, I'll have a video. I have a video on connectors that I will also link in the description below. Right? Sorry, I totally forgot. I'll pay you back today. How much was it again? So pay back, it's a phrasal verb. So if you have to pay back, it's because you have to give back money that you owe, right? Speaking practice. Fair enough. Oh, speaking of money, you still owe me from that concert last month, right? Sorry, I totally forgot. I'll pay you back today. How much was it again? So remember, if you owe money to someone, come on, go and pay back right after this lesson. Just give me a ballpark figure. Around $40 should cover it. So $40. Bucks is an informal way to refer to dollars. $40, $40. So a ballpark figure, it's just an approximate acceptable amount, maybe because I just forgot, or maybe because it's not strictly necessary that you pay back the exact amount of money that you owe me. So a ballpark figure, an acceptable amount of money. You see, approximately. All right, let me check my savings. I hope I didn't run out of cash already. So your savings is the money that you keep aside. You see, that you put aside, that you save. And if you run out of something, this is a phrasal verb that can also be used outside of money context, is because there's nothing left of money. For example, you can run out of gas, you can run out of money, you can run out of milk, and then you need to go to the grocery store, right? So run out of something. Then, pronunciation practice here. Just give me a ballpark figure. Around $40 should cover it. All right, let me check my savings. I hope I didn't run out of cash already until my next paycheck. By the way, I went shopping yesterday and I got totally ripped off. I paid $80 for a hoodie I saw online for $25. So to be ripped off, it's a phrasal verb or an expression that means that you feel you were cheated because you were overcharged by something. I got totally ripped off. You feel cheated because someone overcharged you for an item that is not really that price. No way. Did you try to haggle? So if you haggle, it's because you try to bargain, to negotiate. For example, you are here at the store, the hoodie is $80, and you say, what about 65? Then the seller says, what about 70? And then you say, what about 72? You see, so you are kind of negotiating the price. Speaking practice for this part. By the way, I'll leave a PDF document in the description below as well with all these conversations, the vocabulary bank quiz that you can do at the end to check your understanding. So by the way, I went shopping yesterday and got totally ripped off. I paid $80 for a hoodie I saw online for $25. No way. Did you try to haggle? I did, but the seller wouldn't budge. Honestly, I should have walked away. Should have walked away. So the seller wouldn't budge. The seller wouldn't change his or her opinion. You see, she wouldn't budge. She wouldn't change her opinion, lower the price. You see? Yeah, you gotta be careful. Some places really know how to rip people off. That's why I avoid street vendors. Speaking practice, I did, but the seller wouldn't budge. Honestly, I should have walked away. Yeah, you gotta be careful. Some places really know how to rip people off. That's why I avoid street vendors. Lesson learned. Next time, I'll be more careful with my money. You know what they say? A penny saved is a penny earned. So this is an idiomatic expression that means that saving money is as important as earning it, because a penny saved is a penny that you earned. You see? There you have a new one. Absolutely. And hey, if we are going out for dinner later, let's go Dutch. All right. So what does that mean? It's another idiom. I was going to say minion. I told you this lesson was jam-packed with verbs, phrasal verbs, idioms, adjectives, nouns that you can use to have a natural conversation about money. So if you go Dutch, it means that you agree to pay the cost of something, especially if you're going out for dinner or a meal. So you both pay 50%, 50-50. Let's go Dutch. Speaking practice, we are almost getting to the end. Lesson learned. Next time, I'll be more careful with my money. You know what they say, a penny saved is a penny earned. Absolutely. And hey, if we're going out for dinner later, let's go Dutch. All right. Deal. I'm not exactly loaded right now. Loaded? Loading? So, loaded. It's an informal adjective that you can use to say that you don't have much money right now. I don't have lots of money right now. I'm not exactly loaded. Same here. Honestly, I'm just trying not to gamble away my next paycheck. So gamble means that you bet money, for example, on different activities, on horse races, car races, for example. So if you gamble away your money, you're risking to lose your money, right? And I don't want to gamble away my next paycheck. Speaking practice with this part, deal. I'm not exactly loaded right now. Same here. Honestly, I'm trying not to gamble away my next paycheck. Same. All right, let's go. Coffee's on me. Coffee's on me this time. Don't worry, it won't break the bank. So, coffee's on me is I'll pay for coffee this time. Don't worry, it won't break the bank. So this is a very nice idiom. I think is the last one. Yeah. If something breaks the bank, it means that it's way too expensive. For example, this lady's vacation around Europe broke her bank, so it was very expensive. And if you say that something doesn't break the bank, it means that it's not that expensive. Thanks, but next time I'm treating. It's like next time is on me. I may be broke, but I'm still generous. So if you're broke, remember you have no money at all. But as he's not broke, he's still generous. I think we're getting to the end. So speaking practice for this part, same, all right. Let's go. Coffee's on me this time. Don't worry, it won't break the bank. Thanks, but next time I'm trading. I may be broke, but I'm still generous. Okay, guys, that's all for today. I hope next time you have a money related conversation, you feel more confident, you sound more natural and fluent. If this lesson helped you in any way, remember to subscribe if you're not already and like the video, give it a big thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye.